Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Melissa Andre. I'm the Executive Director of the Philadelphia Tax Review Board, and we are convening a session of the Tax Review Board today. Today is February 3rd of 20, I'm sorry. Today is February 13th, 2025.
Right.
It is approximately 2:06 p.m. and our category today is license and inspection. With me today is our board chair, Paula Weiss, with board members John O'Connor, George Matthews, and Nancy King-Medina here. Please be aware this is a public hearing and it is being recorded. Because the meeting is public, participants and viewers have no expectation of privacy. And by continuing to be in this meeting, you are consenting to being recorded. This recording will be posted on the Tax Review Board's website. Paula, please take it away.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. The Tax Review Board for February 13th, 2025 is now in session. We're going to go a little out of order from what's listed on our docket. We do have one case that with several matters that has been listed for status so that we can get an update on litigation that was going on. Those are listed as cases 2, 4, and 8 on our docket for 4238 Chestnut Street. Petitioner 4236-38 Chestnut LLC. Case 2, last 4 digits of the docket 8966. Case 4, last 4 digits of the docket 8965. And case 8, last 4 digits of the docket 8964. Is there an attorney or someone here for the petitioner?
I don't see anybody.
I don't see anybody.
Was there somebody supposed to be here?
I didn't have any communication with him ahead of the hearing, but Josh Horvitz is the attorney who represents the petitioner, and I did expect him to be present, but I suppose he didn't appear for whatever reason.
All right, well, we're going to go ahead. So, Mr. Fernandez, since this is the matter, one of the matters that you're handling, can you give us an update?
Yes. Would you like for me to give a brief introduction to the matter, or have you had the opportunity to refamiliarize yourself with it?
I think a very brief intro.
Sure. This involves properties that were demolished by the city of Philadelphia after they were rendered imminently dangerous, I believe, due to allegedly by the petitioner, and the city also agrees with this, but it is still in some dispute, due to construction occurring at a large project next door. The petitioner has sued the construction company and developer / owner of the project next door, and that suit is ongoing. The petitioner and the city entered into a settlement agreement wherein the city essentially agreed to the furthest extent we are able to, because obviously we can't control the Tax Review Board's scheduling. We agreed to let that private suit play out. They are seeking recovery of the demolition costs through that suit. If they are able to recover the demolition costs through that suit, they would then hand that over to the city to pay for the demolitions, and the petition to this board would be rendered moot. If they are not able to recover the costs of the demolition through that suit, then they would be able to proceed with their petition to this board.
Okay, and that litigation is still on?
Yes, the docket, it's a Court of Common Pleas, it's Court of Common Pleas litigation. The docket number is 23.
We have that, Mr. I have that.
I think we have that information.
Okay. Yes. So looking at the docket, it is one of these complex civil litigation matters where there's many defendants, many lawyers in on it. Essentially, as of right now, it is projected for an October 6th, 2025 settlement conference, a November 3rd, 2025 pretrial conference, and then the projected trial date is December 1st, 2025.
Oh, good Lord. Okay.
Yes.
So it sounds like we are going to continue to hold this in suspension until perhaps January of 2026, at which point it sounds like at the very least we'll be able to get an update again as to the status of the proceedings. Mr. Fernandez, does that make sense to you?
Absolutely, Ms. Chairwoman. That would be the city's request, and I will, I'll cross my fingers but not hold my breath that this is resolved by the time that rolls around.
Right. Well, at least okay. I was going to say, at least we could presume that some of these proceedings will have occurred and we'll have a better idea of where it's going, but We'll see. Okay, so we're going to continue this matter for an additional status listing in January of 2026. Can I get concurrence from the board to continue this matter?
John O'Connor, I concur.
Nancy Cameradiner, I concur.
George Matthews, I concur.
Paula Weiss, I concur. All right, so this matter will then be held over until January of 2026, which I can't even think about right now. But all right, we'll talk about it. And obviously, Mr. Fernandez, if in the meantime, somehow some parties, well, these parties resolve this, would you please let Ms. Andre know that that this matter can be withdrawn and closed on our end? Otherwise, it'll
Absolutely.
remain open for us.
Of
Okay?
course.
All right, thank you. So we're going to move on then to what is listed as case number 1 on our docket for International Education and Community Initiatives doing business as One Bright Ray, Inc., 2816-22 North 4th Street. Last 4 digits of the docket are PFBQ. And I believe we have a representative in our office. Mr. Fernandez, this is your case also?
No, this one's mine.
You can see me, right, Paula?
Pardon me?
Oh, I cannot hear you.
I'm getting feedback from somebody.
All right, now I can hear you. You can hear me? We're good?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Yes, one moment. All right, you can hear me, right, Paula?
We can hear you.
But I can't hear you. What's going on? What is going on? What's going on?
There's no doubt about it.
Paula, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
And now I can hear you. I think I'm gonna,
Life is good.
okay,
All right, we're ready?
yes.
All right. We are calling then International Education and Community Initiatives doing business as One Bright Ray, Inc. Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Paula Weiss, Chair of the Tax Review Board. Could you state your name for the record and also your position with this organization?
Francis Velasquez, Chief Financial Officer.
Okay, Ms. Velasquez, do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, we're going to turn to the city first so that we can get the amounts and dates that are in controversy, and then we will come back to you and you can explain to us why you're here, what you're looking for from the board. Turning to the city, Mr. Gluetza.
Certainly. To read the numbers into the record, if I could call Shondell York, please.
Yes. Do I see?
I believe she's listed under licenses and inspections. On the,
Okay, thank you. I didn't see. Hi, you need to unmute yourself.
Again, trying to pull up my paperwork.
Okay, could you please state your name and position for the record?
Shondell York, Code Administration Supervisor for the License Issuance Unit.
Ms. York, do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, you have the amounts and controversy and the dates that are covered?
1 second, I'm just trying to bring it up. And our computers are moving a little slow today. Trying to get into this. Open up.
Let me show
Open up. Come on, come on. So the last, sorry. The license number being license number 7966065. The last job that was started, the license expired in 2019. The current unpaid amount is $1,966.18.
I'm sorry, can you slow down?
Oh, sorry.
Okay, you're like. Go ahead.
Sorry.
So that's the principal amount due is,
The principal amount, the past renewal fee was $1,140. The yearly fee for the license is $275. The interest fee is $183.73, and then the penalty fee is $367.45.
and this license is for what?
It's a food prep license, food prep and serving.
Okay. All right, Mr. Giliuzza, do you have any opening statement?
Yes, thank you. The city of Philadelphia issued a food preparation license to One Bright Ray in 2018 after that license was requested by the organization. In 2018, the city of Philadelphia did receive payment for said food prep license. That license expired in December of 2019, and that is the license that we are here for today. The city has still not received payment for that renewed license.
So is the amount that Ms. York read into the record only for 2019, or is it for all the years subsequent?
So the $275 fee is for 2019 going into 2020. So that will be the 1-year renewed license. And then the additional fees and penalties that were read into the record have accrued over time because that license was not paid in a timely fashion.
So we're only talking about the 2019 year.
That is correct.
Thank you. Okay, Ms. Velasquez?
Yes, so I've been with the organization for a long time, since 2009. While I was renewing licenses one day, in the very beginning of my employment, someone at the municipal building said, hey, you are a nonprofit organization, you operate schools, and you provide food to your students free of charge. You as a nonprofit qualify to have your licenses waived. So they made me aware of that, and they asked me to provide information and to renew my licenses every year free of charge. So they made that adjustment that day, and then every year I would just renew them and everything was fine. So maybe around 2017, I'm not exactly sure the date, I went back to the municipal building to request a new license. And when I requested that new license, I was asked to pay, and I said, hey, we're a nonprofit. So they said, fine, 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 leave. And then when I got back that day, or that following week, I started to receive bills for all of our licenses. And so I submitted a petition, and I came to the tax board, plead my case that we're a nonprofit. And when I went to get the new license, it changed our status from nonprofit to for-profit, and then it prompted all of these bills. So came to the tax board, after a couple years that it was kind of like, it was around the pandemic, it kept getting pushed. And then finally, when we got back from the pandemic, all of that got taken care of. I came back to the tax board, they cleared everything up, and we were good to go.
So I'm going to stop you there. When you say the tax board, do you mean the Board of Revision of Taxes? You're in front of the tax review board now. Were you here?
Yes, I was here.
Okay, thank you.
So everything got resolved. However, this one license got missed. And so when I went in my ePlix system to, again, renew this one isn't classified as a nonprofit. So that's what prompted the bills. So I've been disputing this. I have here on my paperwork since 2021. I do see something about 2019 on my other paperwork. So I believe that it expired during the time that we were in the pandemic as well. So when I went to renew, when we came back from the pandemic and I went to renew this one license when it expired in December, of 2019, that's when it expired. When we got back in 2021, when I went to renew it again and we were back in the buildings and in full effect, I was having the same issue I had with the other licenses. I started to have it with this license as well. So it's under the same umbrella and the same school.
Paula, you're on mute.
So I am. Sorry, let's go back to the city then and see what the status is at this point.
What is
Apologies,
it?
apologies, I didn't quite hear you. Could you repeat that?
I think we want to go back. We want to turn now to you and to
Oh,
Ms.
yes.
York for your position and the status with the city for this
Certainly.
organization, the licenses.
Yeah, the Department of Licenses and Inspections has in the past waived fees for nonprofits that are not charging for food regarding the issuance of a food preparation license. However, the organization is required to certify that they are not charging for food. In my city exhibits, I do have the document from the organization where they listed that they would be charging for food, which is what triggered the fee. If I may present my exhibits, I can show that to the board.
Yes, please.
Thank you. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Thank you. Inspector York, do you recognize this document?
Yes,
Is this document a screenshot of the city Eclipse system?
yes.
And what is the header at the top of this page?
That is the license for One Bright Rays, the food prep and serve. It shows the business description.
Thank you. And could you please state the expiration date for the record?
December 3rd, 2019.
Thank you. And where at the bottom of the page where it lists whether or not food is being served free of charge, there is a yes or a no option there. Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
And could you please let the board know what it says?
It says that food is not free of charge. They will be charging. No, so it's not free of charge.
Thank you. Is it Licenses and Inspections position to waive fees for nonprofits if they are intending to charge for food?
No, if you're charging for food, you pay the fee.
Thank you.
All right. So, trying to just cut through to the chase here. What would they need to provide you in order to correct, if this is an incorrect record, how do they correct it so that this license fee can be waived?
Well,
It would-
sorry.
You can go, Thomas.
If the license fee could be waived if they were able to show that they are not charging, or rather were not charging for food at the time of the license issuance. So this expired December 3rd, 2019. So if the organization could provide documentation to show that they were serving food free of charge at the time, then we would be able to discuss a resolution, certainly.
Okay. I think you can stop sharing your screen.
Certainly.
Oh, can I say something, please, about that screen? It's shaded. It doesn't, that screen, it's kind of, it has 501c3, and then it has, do you charge? That's shaded. I don't have that option to change that in the system. We have never charged we have not charged our students.
We understand that. We're not saying that you have. What we're saying is that in order for the city to waive this, they need some documentation in order to correct the record. Okay, so I guess the question is there something you can provide to the city from 2019, or, for the duration of, your existence even, that shows what your process has been in order for providing food to, I assume these are students or children. And we can continue this So that you, and hold on. Unless, if you have something now, that would be great. If you,
I do.
oh, all right.
I have my food, my application with the Department of Education to serve federal food, breakfast and lunch to our students. And on that application, it says that we do not charge our students.
That sounds good.
Okay,
Um,
so can we see that, or could we have that entered into the record? Perhaps the board can just make a determination and we can close this out today, because I know that we do have the documents establishing.
So I'm gonna run in and give you the,
But
business- my
go ahead,
business.
you do that, and then I'm gonna just sum up here.
My,
We
My-
do have, hold on, we do have documents establishing that the organization is 501c3. And I assume, Ms. York, I guess, that fees have been waived for the years subsequent to 2019?
Well, they're kind of stuck in limbo until, as long as they have this outstanding balance, they're gonna have, it holds up everything. Nothing has been calculated for the ongoing years. But if it is attested that they don't charge for food, then yes, something would be done for the fees going
Okay.
forward.
So let's see if we can resolve this today. Everybody hold tight.
I am emailing Melissa Andre now. So the last, in my system, the last application that's available is 21 to 22. Is that okay?
Well, we'll take a look at it.
Okay.
Did you get it, Melissa?
Just sent it.
To the city reps as well as to the board?
No, I'll just forward it to. It was just easier for her to send it to me.
Right, but you're gonna forward it to the rest of us.
Yep.
Let me see, I might need another, let's see. This one is for Fairville. Okay, this one definitely says no charge on it. Let me save this one and send this one to you as well. I sent you the general application, and then this one is the site application. I just sent you a second one, Ms. Smith.
I haven't received anything.
It says failure.
Nope.
Okay,
Oh,
so I think, you know what, I think that perhaps rather than,
Can
Try
you
to-
check again, Melissa? 'Cause at the first time I added 2 A's to your name, but I sent it again with just the 1 A.
I think that rather than trying to perhaps do all of this in the middle of a hearing, we're gonna ask that, we get we take this under advisement temporarily, so that the petitioner can submit whatever documentation they have, for review in this matter, along with a statement that attests that no that the food has been served without charge for all of the years in question. And then we can provide that as well to the city representatives. And then we can make a decision based on the actual
So
documentation that we.
this is what
see.
I propose, because now it's all coming back to me about Ms. Velasquez and one bright day. This was a case where she came back multiple times, and I see the frustration in her face. So
Yes.
I would propose that we schedule this for next week. It is an L&I day next Thursday. You don't have to come in here. You can come via Zoom. And the attorney for the city can review your documents. You can send me everything that you have, including an attestation, you can send it over, and it will be a simple status where we either grant or deny based on what we hear. And that way you don't have to come all the way back, and we can actually take the time to look at the evidence that you're providing, which I think is fair to the city as well.
Yeah, the city has no objections to that proposal.
All right, so then we're gonna,
I'm just gonna literally pick this case up and move it over to Thursday.
okay, and not to drag it out anymore. I mean, we don't want to do that. And as Ms. Andre said, you know, you're welcome to Zoom and not come, actually make the physical trip to the office. All right, so I'm going to propose to the board that this matter be continued until next week, pending receipt of the documentation from the organization that establishes that in fact, they do not charge a fee for the food that they provide as part of the services that they offer. Can I get concurrence from board members?
John O'Connor, I concur.
Nancy Cameron, I concur.
George Matthews, I concur.
Paula Weiss, I concur. All right, so that way you don't have to rush, Ms. Velez, and try to find it, and we don't have to try to read it in a hurried fashion. We can all have it. It'll be part of the record. You can, I assume, establish through documentation that in fact this nonprofit provides the food without charging a fee, and then we can go ahead and either the city will be able to resolve it without us possibly, or we will resolve it here.
Yes,
Next.
because if I'm gonna mess up his name, but if Attorney Thomas from the city finds that this document is fine, the board can simply just do a decision on the record and grant the petition, if that's the result. And that way you won't even have to come back on the Zoom, okay? Is that okay? Can you hear me? Ms. Velasquez?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I just wasn't.
Okay. All right, so this matter is continued and we will resolve it next week. Thank you for
Chair.
coming in. All right. And
I'm gonna put in cases 3 and 6.
Okay, we're moving on. Cases 3 and 6 are for the property 320 West Coulter Street. Last 4 digits of the docket, 4AEF and HRHV. And I think Mr. Fernandez, you're up.
Good afternoon, Ms. Chairwoman and members of the board. You are correct. I am handling these cases for the city, these petitions.
Okay, so the petitioners are in our office.
Just 1 second, Paula. 3 people.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Okay, meeting's over. Meeting's back on.
Stressing me out today.
Yes. It's okay. All right. So don't forget to keep your voices nice and loud. Hopefully they can see everybody, but really you're doing the majority of
No,
it.
we really can't see everybody. We can only see one person.
right?
Yes.
All right. So whoever's talking, I guess you could just turn it a little like that.
Yeah, now I can see 2.
You?
Wait.
Yeah.
Turn it back the other way.
Do
No,
it.
stop.
Yeah.
Okay, now we can see 2. And can the third person sit behind them?
You want to come over here? Let me move
If
over.
they're gonna testify, if everybody's not testifying, it doesn't matter. We only need to see who are gonna talk.
Okay, we'll just move it. Don't worry.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you.
all right. All right. Good afternoon. My name is Paula Weiss, Chair of the Tax Review Board. Could each of you please state your name?
Bernard Studevant, Jr.
Okay, Mr. Sutherland, and with you?
Sharice, that been his sister.
Okay. Do each of you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, we're going to turn to the city representatives to start us off so that we can get the dollar amounts and dates in controversy on our record, and then we will come back to you. You will have the opportunity to explain to us why you are here and what you're looking for from our board. So we're going to turn to the city's attorney, Mr. Fernandez, to start us off.
Thank you, Ms. Chairwoman. I have a preliminary threshold matter. Specifically, the bills at issue here, the related to the demolition of an imminently dangerous property and then ensuing additional work that occurred to tie in basically the party wall had to be tied into the neighboring structure afterwards. Those bills were issued in 2021. Specifically, the demolition bill was issued September 7th, 2021, and then the additional work bill was issued on October 12th, 2021. They were subsequently liened. The lien filing date for both of these bills was November 3rd, 2023, just about 2 months or a month and a half prior to these petitions being filed with the board. And so the city's position would be that the board doesn't have any jurisdiction to address these liens, and that the petitioners must be redirected to the Court of Common Pleas to pursue a writ of shira facie.
Are these bills in personam at any point remaining?
When they were initially issued as statements of outstanding fees or bills, at that point, they were issued to the petitioners, yes.
And no longer being pursued in personam?
They have now been liened against the property. They're on the Court of Common Pleas dockets. And that is now I guess the nature of the debt is as a lien against the property.
Okay,
And if it would help the board, I have in my exhibit packet copies of the filings that were made to establish the liens with the courts, and I'd be happy to share my screen and show those.
yes. All right, hold on a second, though. I'm going to turn back to the petitioners. I just want to make sure you understand what the city's attorney's saying, and that is that these bills that you would like us to look at are already in a lien status against the property and in the Court of Common Pleas, which may take them out of our jurisdiction. Are you aware that these have been placed as?
No, I am not. We are not. Reason being, first and foremost, this is a stack of payments. We made $500 monthly payments to the tune of probably 18. I think we paid payments look like 18 or 20 some odd $1,000 that we paid on that particular property for the demolition. We are here today because we came before the board for a abatement on the bill for the property, for the demolition of the property.
Right.
And I was under the impression that this hearing was for that because this is the decision letter from the last time we were here, and it was denied. We were denied.
That is correct,
But
Paula.
we came here today to see if we could get the petition that was denied reduced or eliminated, because we feel as though the $18,350 that the demolition company charged was excessive. The additional $1,800 to put star bolts in the wall was excessive. And we also
It was on the original quote.
it was not on the original bill. And
We weren't aware of it. And secondly, we were going back and forth with the city because there were issues with the work that was done, and we were trying to get the contractor or the inspector back out to the property to review it and answer our questions and talk about the things that need to be redone and repaired. So,
Right.
and in the midst of it all, we were still making payments. We couldn't pay the whole thing at one time. We were still making payments because of the additional $20,000, whatever the additional charge that we weren't
This, the securing the party wall.
securing the party wall that we weren't, made aware of initially, and that was not part of the initial agreement. So
And now our contact from the city of Philadelphia was David Alicio. And we made multiple calls to him during the process of the tear down so that we could get an idea as to what was happening. But those parts are done. Where we are now is with this bill of $22,000. We feel as though it's excessive. And we're here to see if we could get that reduced, because we're in a really rough.
No, we understand. No, we absolutely understand why you're here. And yes, there are circumstances where the board does have the ability to review those bills and make determinations. Our concern right now is that because these bills were issued in 2021 and that we do have a 60-day filing jurisdictional deadline based on our ordinance, our convening ordinance, and the city, in addition, in November of 2023, actually converted them into liens on the property. We're not sure we actually have jurisdiction at this time to do that review. It appears that it's the Court of Common Pleas that now has jurisdiction based on the liens. The fact that these are now converted to liens.
Can I ask a
That's
question?
where we, having nothing to do with the merits of your argument as to whether or not the bills are excessive. I'm not saying, anything regarding that argument, but we're really just looking at whether or not this is still something that this board can actually review. So, I think unless the city has any more comments, the board probably needs to take a 5-minute discussion,
I do have
option.
a question, and this is probably for the clarity of the record. Mr. Hernandez, does the liens that the city filed cover both dockets, both bills?
Yes,
Both the initial demolition and the additional work?
they do. And if I may, very briefly, I'll go through it as quickly as possible because I know the board wants to meet. So the first bill for the demolition is in my evidence packet that was sent to the board, starting on City Exhibits page 14 and going through City Exhibits page 15. Immediately following it is the lien. You can see here is dated, the court date stamp, November 6th, 2023. And then down here, you see it is 23-987-88 for complete demolition of existing structure. Then the additional work bill, you go further down, I believe it's page 23 and 24. So here's the second bill. And then immediately following that on City Exhibit 25, the docket number is the same as the prior one, +1. So the other one ended 9/8. This one ends 9/9 and is otherwise identical. Also docketed November 6th, 2023. I think I might have mistakenly said November 3rd, 2023. My apologies. And you can see here, it's a different amount, 23,465. And then it states here additional work. As a last matter before the board convenes, I would say that additionally, the petitioners failed to state a reason for nunc-pro-tunc consideration in their petition to the board. They submitted a agency receivables printout showing the bills issued to the property, or maybe reflecting the liens. I'm not exactly sure. I could take a look. With no adequate justification for nunc-pro-tunc consideration.
Can I ask something here? Right here, this is we came before this board and we got the appeal. We made an appeal of this decision and it was granted. So when he's talking about 2023 or 2021, and we also have payments that we've made on the specific bill for the tear down.
And we didn't do a payment agreement.
We got no documentation about any liens.
And we didn't do a payment agreement because we weren't agreeing. We were told if we do an agreement, we're agreeing to pay the whole entire $40-something thousand, and we were agreeing, so we wanted to pay, we're not trying not to pay. We didn't want to be tied to the additional money, so we had to appeal everything before we could make a payment agreement. So in the meantime, we were paying down the bill all along. So it wasn't like we were not paying
Right.
anything on the bill.
And no one is saying that you
And
have.
one more thing, ma'am. As I said, we got we were granted, our appeal was granted
Well,
on this matter, but they said that this matter here that we're here with today will be addressed at this hearing. So if we had a lien in place since 2022 or 23, we weren't notified of it, and we were here after that and got
It wasn't addressed.
we were granted a judgment. So
well, you were, right, no, that's a mischaracterization. Granted a judgment. I'm not sure what that means.
our
just for the record,
appeal was granted.
the appeal of so I want to clarify the record. They were heard, they came in for a hearing in August of 2024. The petitions were denied. The hearing officer noted the petitioner received notice. Petitioner failed to establish that the bill amount is unreasonable. And that was for both, well, no, that was, I'm sorry, that was for the docket ending in R44AEF. And then for docket ending in VPHRHV, the bill was abated. Interest was supposed to be 70% and make a installment and payment agreement within 30 days. But their appeal of those decisions were in fact granted.
And we attempted to make the payment arrangement, but they, as per the conversation on 9/6/24, I called this appeal board, and they said that the payment arrangements on this will be addressed at the hearing that we're here for today.
Well, because once the decisions are appealed to this board, any decision at the hearing officer level is vacated and erased. So we start again for this purpose.
And I'll just quickly say, to clear up this for the record, in support of what petitioners have said, I did note that there was a $17,000 credit reflected on the Philadelphia Tax Center entries for these debts. And so I have no reason to doubt the petitioner's statements that they have made payments towards those debts. I think they said around 18,000. According to the tax center, it was $17,000 towards the demolition bill.
So, Mr. Fernandez, based on that, and the showing of good faith, obviously, and their intention to address all of these, is this a matter that might be ripe for settlement negotiations with the law department?
I would certainly never rule out settlement before having a thorough good faith discussion with any parties. With respect to the instant matter, though, the petitions before this board, the city's position would still be that they can't be heard because of the late nature of the petitions and because of the fact that they have already, the bills with personal liability have already been converted into liens.
Yes, I understand that. I'm asking a separate question.
Yes, I'm sorry, I just wanted.
No, I understand your
careful.
position.
Yes, but I would certainly pick up the phone and always engage in a discussion with any parties that have, a bill, a debt, an active case, whatever it is.
Okay. All right. I think at this point, the board needs to step back and have a discussion.
Okay, if everyone
Everybody
just stay
sit
right
tight.
where they are.
So this is not valid anymore, the deduction?
Oh, no, I think we paid this that anyway. But so demolition now has a $7,000 balance that was eliminated.
Paula, everybody's back.
Everybody, and the tax review board is back in session. We did look at this and listen to the arguments on both sides. And at this point, because as the city's attorney has demonstrated, these matters are subject to liens. Unfortunately, Mr. and Mrs. Sturtevant, your avenue to pursue these have to go through the Court of Common Pleas. It's unfortunate that that was not made clear at our first hearing, and I apologize. We did not want to waste your time. But this does not appear that we have jurisdiction to really review these bills at that time. So the Court of Common Pleas would be your avenue to appeal these bills for any kind of relief. And in addition, I would certainly encourage you to speak to Mr. Fernandez outside of this hearing to see if there is some solution, particularly regarding that second bill. The board would emphasize that second bill for shoring up the wall or whatever it was that was done there. So can I get concurrence from board members that this petition is denied for lack of jurisdiction?
John O'Connor, I concur.
Nancy Cameron, I concur.
George Matthews, I concur.
Paula Weiss, I concur. You will get a letter from the tax review board in about 2 weeks. It will have our decision as well as appeal rights to the Court of Common Pleas from this decision, if that's the route you want to take. And Mr. Fernandez, we will provide your information to them. And I assume you have their information from the petition.
I do, and I think they may have received an email from me yesterday when I sent out the evidence packet. But yes, please share my contact information with them.
Okay, thank you
Where
for
did you
coming
say that
in.
to Mr. Fernandez?
It was I think Coulter Auto Repair 0 at gmail.com, if I remember correctly. I did my best reading it off of the petition. I'm not sure if I got it
Yes, I
correctly,
did
but
not receive that, so could you resend it, please?
yes, I'll resend it now.
Double check, give him the.
Let me
email.
give you the proper spelling. Coulter, Coulter, auto, AUTO, repairs, REPAIRS, the number 0 @gmail.com. Because I did not receive anything from you yesterday.
That does appear to be the email address I used yesterday, and I didn't get anything bounced back to me, but I will resend it right now.
Thank you. All right, thank you for coming in. Good luck as you pursue this.
I got you.
So moving forward, can we make a payment arrangements, or right now we have to talk to Mr. Fernandez to see what happens here with the lien and the
I was
payment?
just speaking to him first to see if there's some resolution that you could come to with him. And then and he can direct you towards a payment agreement as appropriate.
And the first abatement that we were granted, is that out of effect or is that in effect?
That is no longer in effect. No,
So we now owe that excess money?
that is all, well, because it's all part of the lien. Yes.
So is that something, so if we talk to Mr. Fernandez, is that something that the Court of Common Pleas can maybe reinstate or look at? Or if it was granted before, is that, you
You
know,
can certainly address that with both Mr. Fernandez, or if you actually file some kind of request for review with the Court of Common Pleas.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for coming in.
Thank you. And
Thank you.
I believe that concludes my business today. Thank you all for your time and consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Fernandez. We will see you next time.
Indeed.
All right, so we are going to move on to what is listed as cases 5 and 7 on our docket for 3617-19 North 8th Street. Last 4 digits of the docket. For case 5 is 8T2R, and for 7 is what is it? YLMJ. And the petitioners are on Zoom, I believe.
Yes, we are.
Okay. So it's the petitioner listed as Tracy Jarman, and the
Yes.
petitioner is Kenneth. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So, Ms. Jarman, could you state your full name for the record, please?
Tracy Jarman Woods.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
Yes.
And, gentleman, Mr. Kenneth, could you state your full name?
Kenneth Woods.
Thank you. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
Yes.
You
Just
are-
for the record, just for clarification, I see there's another gentleman in here, iPad 10. Are you associated with this case? Observing? We can't hear you. You're on mute.
No.
Yeah, I guess.
It's
Oh, he-
frozen.
Yeah, he's frozen. Hopefully he'll come back. I'll kick him out.
All right.
and come back in. That'll work.
All right.
Okay, that's
Is
our
that-
attorney.
Pardon me?
That's our attorney, Greg
Oh,
Nanto.
that's your attorney.
See, that's why I wanted him to
Ah,
identify
thank you.
himself. Okay, hold tight. I'm just gonna.
So we need to
kick him
wait a
out
second.
And then put him back in, because I think
Okay.
sometimes that might make things work. 1 second. You're still on mute, sir, so you're gonna have to unmute yourself.
Hello?
Much better. Thank you.
Okay.
Great. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Gregory Nanton, Nanton. I represent the Woods family, Tracy Woods and Kenneth Woods.
Great. Well, welcome. Mr.
Oh,
Nanton.
well, let me, for transparency, I don't have a license in the state of Pennsylvania. My license is in the state of New York. I need to inform you of that. So I'm sort of kind of like an observer at this stage until I get pro hoc visa, if necessary.
Do you plan to provide any testimony today?
And not at all.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna speak to Mr. and Mrs. Woods. We're gonna first turn to the city representatives to have them place on the record the dollar amounts and dates of the matter in controversy. Then we will come back to Mr. and Mrs. Woods for them to tell us why they're here today, what they're looking for from our board.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Before we go forward with placing the dollar amounts on the record, the city would like to register an objection to the hearing of these appeals. The two bills at question were issued in 2014 and 2015 respectively, placing them at approximately 9 years old, which far exceeds the statutory allowance for the Tax Review Board.
Okay, let's go back then. I'm not sure who wants to take the lead here. Mrs. Woods or Ms. Jarman, how would you like to be addressed? You've got Tracy Jarman on yours.
Yes, Tracy Jarman is fine.
Okay, so Ms. Jarman, do you want to start? What the city is objecting to is the delay in filing an appeal to the Tax Review Board based on the fact that these bills were issued in 2014 and 2015. We have a statutory requirement that petitions need to be filed to be heard within 60 days of the date of the bill. Can you explain to us the delay?
Yes. So Ken, do you want to take it? I know at some point in time, we did not have access to correspondence coming from the city. The address was changed within the system and we weren't aware of it. I'm not sure what the dates are with that, but we had that rectified, right, Ken?
Yes,
We're in separate
that was the case. Normally, we would get all correspondence from the city, and someone, I don't know for what reason, who probably had some interest in the property, went into the tax office in Philadelphia. They changed their address to a PO box. So we were not aware of this. All our mail kept on going there. And then, you know, for some reason, they sent out quite a few letters to all the addresses that we were previously logged on to. And when we called and we went down there, they said our address was changed to some PO box in Philadelphia for a whole extended period of time. So we did not receive a whole lot of our correspondence.
And when did you learn this?
I can't quote the exact year and time, but we do have it on record down there. When the correction was made, they tagged the account not to make any changes prior to communicating with us.
All right, well, maybe the city or Ms. York can explain to us what the city records say. Or are we looking?
Certainly, yeah. So, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I'm going back to you, Mr. Gugliusa.
Certainly.
Who's your witness today?
Our witness for the demolition records would be Thomas Rybakowski.
Okay. Oh, pardon me?
Ms. Mitchell.
And Ms. Mitchell is here?
Yes, Ms. Mitchell is here for the costs.
Yeah, so why don't we start with that? Because I think that her record may be able to address petitioners' testimony that addresses were changed back and forth, which actually goes to your non-pro-tunc argument. I would like to hear how, whether they did or were not able to get city correspondence on this matter.
The city does have copies of the bills that were issued, and the bills were addressed to not to a PO box, but were sent to a address in South Orange, New Jersey. We would be happy to introduce those for the record.
All right, let's get the dollars on the record and then we'll come back and maybe we will start there because we do want to address the non-pro-tunc issue. We do recognize you made that strong argument. Ms. Mitchell?
Yes.
How are you today?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I don't think I swore you in yet. Could you
No,
state?
you did not.
Could you state your full name and position with the city?
Sure. My name is Lashika Mitchell and I'm the code administrator for license and inspection.
You swear or affirm testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Could you provide us with the dollar amounts and dates that are in controversy here?
Yes. 3617-19 North 8th Street, the first docket number ending in 8T2R. This is a CSU bill date 4/1/2014.
Bill number 2337397, principal amount $752.50. Admin charge $158.03. Interest $486.86 for a total of $1,397.39. The second case for 3917 North 8th Street, and this docket number ending in YLMJ. This is also a CSU bill. Bill date 7/21/2015. Bill number negative 2337397. Principal amount $240,360. Admin charge $50,475.61. The interest is $135,237.88 for a total of $426,073.49.
And can you tell us where those bills were sent back then, or is that not possible?
That's not possible on my end.
All right, so we're gonna turn back to Mr.
Sorry.
Go ahead. We're gonna turn
If
back.
I may, I do have copies of the bills available in the exhibits packet. We would be happy to enter those into the record.
Yes, can you share those on your screen?
I
Is that
certainly can. All right. Can you see my screen okay?
I can.
I can.
Fabulous. All right. Code Administrator Mitchell, can you please identify this document?
Yes, this is a bill for part of a demolition.
Yes, thank you. And can you please read for the board who this bill is addressed to and where this bill was sent?
Tracy Dromard and
Jarman.
Jarman, I'm sorry. Oh,
That's okay.
yeah, I have glasses. I still can't see. Sorry.
Oh, I apologize. Would you like me to zoom in? Would that make it
No,
easier?
I'm good. And the address is 8 Kesby Road, South Orange, New
Kingsby
Jersey.
Road.
Kesby
Yeah.
Road,
Mhm.
South Orange, New Jersey, 07079.
Excellent, thank you. And then moving on to the second bill, this bill is for the demolition of the property. If you could please read into the record the name and address where the bill was sent.
Okay, once again, Tracy Dromorn, if I'm pronouncing that right again, 8 Kesby Road, South Orange, New Jersey, 07079.
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna interrupt for a moment. Ms. Jarman, is this an address that you're familiar with?
Yes, it is.
Do you recall receiving these bills?
I do not, but I mean, that's where they went. I was there.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
City? Anything else at this point you want to present on?
I would like to, just for the record, inform the board that this address in South Orange, New Jersey is still the listed address with the OPA for the property in question. And I can provide a readout from the property website for the city of Philadelphia to confirm if that is necessary.
Okay. Ms. Jarman,
Yeah.
something else you want to say about this?
No, Ken, is there something that you want to say, or Greg?
Well, we have not lived there for 4 years or so.
All right, well, these were sent out in 2014 and 2015.
Okay, but he said afterwards they continued sending mail to that location.
Well, the city does not know that you moved unless you inform the city that you've moved, I guess would be the answer. Number one. Number two, what kind of property was this?
Well, it was a warehouse, and what happened? We purchased this warehouse in 2005. Okay, now from 2005 onwards, we have been in dialogue with the city because they tagged bills there that for things that did not exist. Firstly, they said there
Well,
was a
that's
water
not
bill.
here nor there. I mean, that's.
Yeah, I want to
that's
tell
not-
you, how we got to where we got to. It's just not a situation where you demo the building, tag the bill, and it was an ongoing issue. It was so fierce that I requested that the city send in their inspectors to check on stuff. And the inspectors reported to the city and said, this building has don't even have any water meters or manifold, yet still we were fined, we were charged $60,000. The city went forward and they auctioned my building. They auctioned the building, okay? Then 1 week after, when they realized that it was a mistake, they reversed the auction. So we've been fighting for this. Now, exactly what the city did, demo in the building, that's what we were proposing to do because we wanted to do a development there, okay? So our argument was, okay, we're working with our architects and all relevant authority to get to this position. So we're gonna demo the building. There was some hurry to demo a building that was not occupied, and technically I made it safe as possible on the inside. Now, then the building was demoed and a bill was tagged. This bill right here now is probably, close to 500,000. So, I mean, it's raw land right now. It's just land, open land, a building lot. Now, the assessed value for this, based on conversations with realtor and appraiser, is 25 to 30,000. So we have a 25 to 30,000 piece of land with a bill of close to 500,000, okay? The city did their thing. That prevents us from doing what we got to do, meaning the minute we talk to a bank or a developer to execute our plans, and I did submit some sketches from architects to you guys as of our proposed intention. The minute we speak of this lien that's existing, no one wants to handle this. So the reason why we're here today, we just want to come to a compromise. Okay, that's a piece of land. It's 40 by 100. Okay, let's work a fee that's workable for the city and us. Because if we do that, we would be able to put a property up, probably have occupants, and bring back a building on the tax roll for the city. So it's got to be a win-win for everyone. I mean, I've had situations like this, or with friends in New York, and things were settled. So, but we're here now to just have some resolve on this.
So,
well, excuse me, if I may interject for one moment. Most of this bill is.
I need to swear you in if you're not an attorney.
Okay, you can swear me in. Okay, you can
so
swear me in.
State your name again. Mr.
Gregory
Nan.
Nanton, Nanton.
And do you swear or affirm to any testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
The whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Thank you. Go right ahead.
My understanding from speaking to my clients is that the majority amount of the bill is a penalty. And I understand that, municipalities issue penalties for various reasons, negligence or lost mail or whatever the case may be. However, I believe the amount is exorbitant. There shouldn't be that much, considering what Mr. Woods just indicated as being an empty lot.
Well, it's an empty lot now. It wasn't an empty lot when the city demolished it.
Yes, and I understand that the city should be paid for their demolition. But to add an exorbitant amount for the tax, for the penalty, I just think the city needs to maybe take that into consideration, based on the fact that not only is he going to build and bring tax revenue back to the city, but in fairness as to a young man trying to better himself as well, better the community as well.
Have any payments been made against this bill?
No, there have not.
And I guess I still haven't heard why it took 10 and 11 years to address it.
Well, okay, we were not aware of a statute of limitation on this when we were hit with this bill, it was, you know, like everyone, like every other American, it was hard time. We were going through some rough times. So, you know, looking at the bill for 300, 400,000 was technically out of our reach. But one thing we did, we bought this property cash in 2005 with all our resources. And we were just trying to do good by the city. And this is where it ended up. Now, let's examine a couple of things. Okay, it's a piece of land. There is a lien for close to 500,000 on it. What is the city going to do? They're going to put the land on the auction block to regain their money? How much money are they going to get? 25,000. I'm proposing if we can just reduce this bill to let's say 1/10 of what the original fee was, we can come up with some arrangement. Yeah, well, of course. I mean, if you had to sell it on auction, how much money would you get? Just speak to the realtors. Look at sales that happen, you know, over a year. You would see no more than 30,000. For that matter, less than 30,000. There are people who are calling us every day to purchase this vacant lot, and their best offer is 19 and 20,000.
What did you pay for the property?
I paid 85,000, but 50,000 of that is still owed to me by the city because they said there was a water bill there that existed, and the water was discontinued in the building 4 years prior to us buying it from the owner who had it for 1 year. So we still have 50,000 in limbo somewhere that we can't recover. So it's a fight. Fighting the city is no easy thing. It's so much that we have been through. I mean, could you imagine they're sending us a letter stating that our building is going to be on the auction line next week and there's nothing that we can do about it, when we knew fully that we were all in the right, that they were making a mistake. That's why they reversed the sale 1 week after. These are just some of the things that we have been through. We have been down there in the city, my wife and I, you know, on this issue. I mean, just 1 year ago, I paid a whole lot of taxes on this, even after it was demoed, so that I can just resolve things, and the record will show that.
All right.
So we're fighting with our last breath for this opportunity to execute. Okay, but it's difficult to fight the city. Our pockets are not so deep.
All right, I'm going to turn back to the city. Can we get some information as to the history of the communications on this property and transactions?
Certainly, yeah. The city records show that the property was purchased back in 2005. The deed was recorded March 23rd. The sole owner listed is Tracy Jarman. There's no further documentation on Philodocs regarding the Jarman's possession of the property. No additional transfers are recorded.
And do we have, and it might be Ms. Mitchell who would have any record of communications regarding this matter? There are attempts to discuss it, resolve it, find out about it.
I have no record of any attempts to communicate with the city to resolve this bill other than the appeal that was filed before this board. Ms. Mitchell, I'm not sure if you have anything beyond that.
No, sir.
Thank you.
Does the board want to step back and have a conversation?
Sure.
Everybody sit tight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I've lost the picture. I have only the sound.
Okay, but are you not getting a button that says to come and join the?
No.
meeting?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna put you out.
I'm just looking again and I don't have anything like that. No.
Okay, I'm gonna put you out and bring you back in, okay?
Okay.
Why are you drinking soda?
Can you
Why are
hear me?
drinking soda?
How can you see me? I didn't know, because we're on by ourselves. Greg, is
No,
Greg
you're
dancing?
not. I'm here. Everybody's still on.
Oh,
So we got to curtail the conversation. So
okay.
It's a hot mic here.
yeah, that's what it is.
Hi, Greg. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How you been?
I'm okay.
Good, good.
Looking good, Greg.
You too, as well, Mr.
Stay
Woods.
sharp as always, sir.
Well, I was in court today, so I had to wear my uniform. So Tracy, I see you got you got a little different color in your hair these days.
Oh, listen, I let it go. I let it go.
Yeah.
I decided to embrace it. How about that?
There you go. Well, at least you have some to embrace. Those
Right.
days are long over for me.
It looks good though.
Thank you. It looks good on your head as well. The gray looks good. Yeah. Looks
Hey,
good.
you know who like it the most? The young people. They like it most. Like, oh my God, I can't wait to have hair like yours,
Oh,
old lady.
yeah. If they're lucky enough.
Right. Mhm.
Oh, George.
Well, they're making some decisions.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
It's funny how the decisions can be made in 5 minutes on a fight that you have been having for 20 years.
Well,
Mhm.
that's how it works there, Mr. Woods. They come in and everybody expresses their opinions and
They make a
I
decision.
gotta take this. Okay, hold on. Hello? Yeah, we still. Yeah. Well, I'm still on. I will call you as soon as I'm finished. We're getting close. The board went back to make some decisions, so. All right, thank you. Not a problem. Thank you, bye-bye. That's tomorrow's case. That's tomorrow's case in Manhattan. That was the ADA. I told her I was going on a Zoom call when I guess she wants what she wants, which is an answer, but she'll have to wait till after this is over and I'll give her a call back.
You spend a lot of time in the courts in Queens. Right?
Yeah. Queens and Manhattan and Brooklyn. Yeah, I'm in Queens. I got a few cases in Queens. Yeah. It's funny. I was going to the court today and the guy was coming out. He just got through the revolving doors and he lights up a spliff. I mean, he's not even out the building. I'm like,
Oh no.
Lord.
Oh no.
Oh my goodness. Oh, at least get out the building, get off the steps, walk to the sidewalk. Oh boy. I mean, the door just went past the revolving door. He stepped out and that was it. I just looked at him like, phew.
Oh, they have no clue. No clue.
No, none.
Oh my God.
None. I mean, it's legal, but come on.
Right.
The board is coming back.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I think we have everybody back with us. Tax Review Board is back in session. The board did review the information and evidence provided, testimony by petitioners, information and evidence with testimony provided by the city. And it is our decision to deny this bill based on lack of jurisdiction. These bills do go back to 2014, 2015, and the city did present evidence that bills were mailed to a correct mailing address. Therefore, this petition is denied. You will get a letter from the Tax Review Board, Ms. Jarman, Mr. Woods. I'm not sure whose address it's going to. But there will be a letter from the Tax Review Board with our decision mailed within 2 weeks. Either party may appeal to the Court of Common Pleas if you choose to continue this. You also can reach out to the city's attorneys to have a conversation, obviously, if you so desire. So can I get concurrence from board members?
John O'Connor, I concur.
George Matthews, I concur.
Paula Weiss, I concur. And Nancy, you're on mute. But we do have a quorum.
Yeah.
All right, so this matter is denied. Thank you for your time and your patience. As I said, you will get correspondence from the board with that decision. And that concludes That concludes this matter, and I believe at this time that also concludes our docket for today.
That is correct.
All right, thank you all. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you Tuesday.
Thanks to the board.
Take care.
Take care, everyone. Have a good
Again,
weekend.
be well.